Podcast number 16. We are here with the boy, Danny Gomsh, and just some random Californian bum, which is me. This is take 2 of podcast 16, by the way. This is take 2 because the original recording of it, we recorded one like a week or so back, and by the time that we finished recording it, what we covered in the podcast was kind of outdated, and so we decided it's best not to release that, and we should do a new recording of a new podcast, and we'll just ignore the other one that we worked on.
Yeah.
So
get it fresh content.
Yeah. What was it? Like we covered, I think it had to do with the coronavirus, but it was something that was happening at the time that's no longer happening, or like situations have kind of shifted. I mean, like the situation for lockdown because of the coronavirus has been shifting in the US. I mean, worldwide, but especially in the US quite a bit over the past couple weeks. So
yeah,
it's just naturally stuff is going to be outdated because by the time we cover it, it's like, oh, it's been like too long for us to even like for it to be relevant information.
Right. Yeah, same here. Things have changed, and so much so that the British, which kind of have struggled a lot with their cases numbers and pandemic control, whatever. They're opening the borders, like for people to go out of and into their country. And one of the destinations that they deem not safe to go out to is continental Portugal. So like
did not. So you can't travel to the UK right now. Still.
I guess the loophole is going through a destination that is deemed safe.
Right. So you'd be like going to, you say continental Portugal, so I'm assuming that Madeira would
be safe. They're safe in the UK's book. But to be fair, Portugal, Lisbon, the region of Lisbon is getting a lot of new cases every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not safe.
Oh my goodness! What was that thing that happened? I don't know if we talked about it in the previous podcast, but the one where there was the hostel that was full of people.
That's really close to where I live, man. Like that's
a brief explanation.
This was a while ago, but essentially, there's in this part of the city, this like highly densely populated part of the city, there are a bunch of hostels, lodging, cheap lodging, where you get people crammed in, like huge groups crammed in one single room, and the more than one hostel in this area was discovered to have like an enormous amount of cases, like pretty much everyone that was staying in there had the virus, and the vast majority of the people living there were refugees or illegal immigrants, and that were staying there like at an overcapacity. They were more than the hostel was legally allowed to lodge.
Uh-huh.
So
they were packed into the brim, and on top of that, there was a leakage of coronavirus that happened in a very population dense facility.
Yeah, and in an area that has a lot of those types of hostels, like real cheap. You don't really know who's there.
Yeah, and
Like,
like every major city has them too. Like where it's like I've had a lot of friends staying in Airbnbs that, for example, don't have like a legal work permit, but they find like an under the table job or something like that, and like so it's a pretty normal thing that happens in bigger cities.
Yeah.
But because of that, like you're pretty limited to your housing, like in terms of housing options, because even if you have the money, because you have like a good job that's paying you under the table, a lot of times you can't get yourself an actual house to stay in. So oftentimes, what happens is like you have to go to like a hostel or some place that's willing to like not ask you questions and then like just keep you and allow you to stay in the facility.
Yeah, just take cash and just no questions.
Like just cash in hand, no questions asked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like that's pretty common just about everywhere. Problem is, what do you do now in a situation like this, where you have an overpopulated lodging place, and then it's not the only one. That's perhaps the bigger problem. It's not the only one, and it's
like that was one of many.
Yeah, that was one of several, especially in that area of the city, which made it a highly concentrated, place of public hazard, public health hazard.
Right. Absolutely.
But those guys were quarantined. They were taken to like military facilities and such, and they were quarantined there. Quarantined? I don't know.
It's quarantine, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like the way it's spelled is like quarantine, though. It really should, yeah. But
they'll know. They know. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. They know what you meant. If they don't, they have to.
They have to deal with it.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
There's no cure for coronavirus nor bad English. It's just the way it is.
Oh.
But
well, in theory, coronavirus is curable. The bad language of the masses is I think that might be it might take longer than a year, a vaccine that you spend a year to create. That might be a bigger problem.
Yeah. They don't make vaccines for that, unfortunately. But
yeah, I mean, dude, if I'm telling you, if I could cure my stupid with the vaccine, I would.
Yeah, but what's the side effects though? Like, what if you lose your dick?
Oh, dude. Just fucking. Oh my god, man!
Imagine
if you took a vaccine and then like you just like wake up in the morning and just like something was gone. It's like you just look down, you're like, oh, well, I'm missing one of the twins, or like your pinky finger is gone. It's like retracted, and like it's like, dude, what if like your emotional state affected what side effect the vaccine has on you, right? So imagine this. It's like you're really, really angry at somebody. Like your girlfriend cheated on you with some guy and you've been feeling like, fuck you. And then like you go to the hospital and get a vaccine, right? And the side effect of that vaccine is that your pinky finger retracts and then all the mass of the pinky finger goes to the middle finger. So now you have like an extended ability to tell someone to fuck off. He's just like, you have a longer middle finger.
Yeah, your middle finger is way more expressive.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be a very interesting scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That would be very scary scenario, man. It's like, because imagine people that suffer from like some serious mental illness, and they go and take the vaccine, and the mental illness now has physical effects that are like just bonkers.
Right.
Does that make sense? It's like
I think so. I think I get what you mean.
like to add to the mental illness. Now okay, it doesn't matter.
Oh, gotcha. So, on top of the mental illness, there's like some sort of physical thing that comes with it.
Yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
the vaccine would be racist. That's what I'm saying, because it's making things even more unequal. It's
fair enough.
There's no even distribution of illness, of like, so yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, man, coronavirus is an equal opportunity employer. It does not see color, and regardless of what background you are from, it will fuck you. So it is as egalitarian as it gets.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if you're yellow, white, black, purple. It doesn't matter what you are. Polka dotted. It'll fuck a ladybug.
Yeah.
Ladybugs are all polka dotted, right?
Yeah.
That's a stereotype, at least.
No, wait, ladybugs? I think they all are.
They're all polka dotted, right? I'm not sure, but
Chernobyl ones might have like some serious fucked up, pattern.
The Chernobyl ones, instead of a polka dot, it's like a polka hammer and sickle. It's just like they just have like a hammer and sickle on his back. Socialist ladybugs.
When they beat their little wings, you start hearing the Soviet national anthem. Why do I hear boss music?
I don't know how the anthem goes. Oh, dude. And so speaking of that, that's a good segue. Today is Freedom Day. Today is the 4th of July.
Yes. Speaking of Soviet Union, today is the day of America.
Today is America Day. Happy America Day. Freedom Day. I've been referring to it as Freedom Day because I think it's a catchy, funny, cute way of calling it. Now you can debate the nature of the freedom in the U.S., but you know what? Freedom Day. It will be Freedom Day to me and to a lot of other people out there. Definitely Freedom Day. Definitely Freedom Day.
I don't think a lot of other countries can successfully reproduce the ideals of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So at least in theory, like in practice, even in practice, man, like I think
I would actually go ahead.
Like, because we're from outside the US, mostly we see what it's like in countries that don't have like this classical liberal strain of doing things,
right? And in the US, tell me what you think about this statement and just like kind of give me like a thought. But I think that whenever people talk about freedom in the US, they think about it as just the way our country is set up, the political structure of the U.S. and like the government and just kind of how unique it was for the time. That's what the freedom that people talk about in the U.S. comes from. But I don't think it's really that anymore. I don't think that's really what is like the idea behind like American freedomism, I guess, or like American liberty, in my opinion, does not stem from the actual jurisdiction. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of representative democracies around the world, so lots of republics around the world. It's a pretty common government structure, I think, for a lot of countries now. And freedom of speech is also something that is very common in the countries around the world. It's I mean, like, it's not available in all countries for sure, but you have generally the same rights regarding freedom of speech and freedom of expression in Western countries and also in like Japan, Korea, a lot of other places, and even in a lot of third world countries. Like, you have on paper you have the same rights as you do, maybe even more liberal rights in terms of freedom of expression in other countries. But I think what really makes the U.S. different is the culture behind it. Now, for a lot of Europeans, for a lot of people that have that live in countries that are fancy or have a very long-standing tradition and culture, I think they might think of the U.S. as not having a culture, but I disagree with that. I think that the culture of the U.S. is that you can be whatever the fuck you want to be, and that's actively encouraged in the U.S. and you're allowed to be that. And not only are you allowed to be that, you're also encouraged to be yourself. You're encouraged to be an individual. And I think it's that culture and that belief that Americans have of you can be whatever the hell you want to be. I think that's what the nature, the emphasis on what you talk about in American freedom, I think it should be placed on the culture of the U.S. rather than the actual jurisdiction and the law of the U.S. What do you think about that?
Boy, there's a lot in that sentence, but well, in terms of culture, like, yeah, I get it. Like, places like, even like Portugal, or places like China and Japan, like it's ancestral. Like, they have traditions that go back to centuries, almost, millennia ago. You know what I mean? So, and then you see how much there's the influence of all these cultures on American culture. And you think, oh man, these guys, they have no culture of their own. They just copy whatever's the fashion or whatever. But I think what you said, in terms of America being just whatever it wants to be, like having that freedom. Yeah, I think that's.
Or you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah. The American being able to be free to be whatever he wants to be, or she.
Right.
I think
that's actually a good point you raised. I think that is what people refer to as the American dream. It's the idea that the U.S. is the best platform for self-expression. I think that people kind of like think of the American dream as like, oh, you're going to make your wealth and you're going to do this and do that. I think it's a little shallow and a little bit... I think that's a really shallow vision of what you think of as the American dream.
It's
personally, I think it comes more from being able to express yourself. It's the biggest platform for self-expression in the world. And it's a place where you're actively encouraged to be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think the American dream means different things to different people. Very different things to very different people.
Right, and that's the point. Is that it means different things to other people, and you're actively encouraged to realize your version of what it means to you. Yeah.
For some people, it's the white picket fence. The house with the white picket fence, the lawn.
And if that's your thing, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. You're allowed. That's a dream you're allowed to have.
Yeah, for others, it's Hollywood or just whatever, just trying to fulfill your dream, whatever
Silicon
that is.
Valley, if you want to be a techie, a tech lord.
Yeah, tech lord. yeah, but like that is the culture. Is like even in terms of what is deemed cultural, if you wanna be a blue collar. You can be a blue collar. Nobody's gonna stop you from being blue collar. If you want to be, like a steampunk type fella, you can be steampunk type fella. If you want to be,
Yeah. If you want to be hippie, go live in Portland.
yeah.
Seriously,
I suppose.
man, just go live
Yeah.
in Portland, man. Just I think it was in Portlandia. It's a TV show based around Portland. I think it was talking about. I think it was the song goes, "The dream of the '90s is still alive in Portland," or something. It was something like that. And
Gotcha.
one of the lines that they said was is like like in the hippie movement where there were people that worked part time at a coffee shop to make make ends meet, and people like and it's that's a culture, like a way of being that's still alive in Portland. I think they also said like people, Portland is where young people go to retire, which I thought was fucking hilarious. It's a great line.
Okay. What does that mean? Like they just those tech lords retire with millions of dollars in their bank accounts, and they just
No, Portland is different. So Portland is like like it's very hippie town in Oregon, right?
right.
I haven't actually personally been there before, but from what I understand of Portland, it's that it's it's hippie town. It's like there's a lot of hippies over there. It's like the idea, like the I don't even know how to describe it. Like the very liberal culture of the 90s is still a big thing. It has survived over there. And so a lot of times people that are like 25 or 30, they'll move to Portland and they'll start living that like lifestyle where they just bum around. They work at a coffee shop and just just barely work and make money. Just barely make money and just kind of sit there and just bum around for like the rest of their lives.
Gotcha.
I think that's the idea that they're talking about.
Gotcha. Yeah, the hippies. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
By the way, I'm a big fan, or I'm not a big fan of like the like social programs and things of that nature, but I am still a big fan of hippie towns. I'm a very, very big fan of hippie towns. I don't know how I can synthesize those two beliefs together, but Santa Cruz, for example, like near here, is a very big, very, very fucking big hippie town. But I absolutely adore Santa Cruz. Like, I think there's no place in the world that has more mom jeans per capita than Santa Cruz. Like, everyone's wearing like ripped up mom jeans, like fucking tie dye shirts, and things like that. Lots of surfers, lots of little quirky things. I love it. I absolutely adore Santa Cruz, and so that's like a form of something that you can be. That's like a very different way to be than a lot of other Americans, but it still exists, and it's still something that's not
that's
maybe accepted by everyone, but you're allowed to be that.
That really is the great thing about America. Like, if you want to live in the big city, you can. If you want to live in the rural area, you can. If you want to live in the wilderness, you can.
In the wilderness, absolutely, you can. Hell,
like
if you want to bring your family from Iran, and then you want to start like a Persian family, and you want to keep it insulated from the rest of the world and speak Farsi in your home, and then go out to go make money at like a company or something like that, you can do that. It's like, and then just practice your religious beliefs and everything, and that's something that you're just allowed to do here, and no one gives a shit. Like, just do it. It's fine.
Yeah, and by law you're protected. Nobody can say you can't do those things, in spite of like the more maybe fundamental conservative
Right, and that's why the country's so big. That's another thing that makes for it is that if you don't have the like the how do I put it, the cultural infrastructure, or like the cultural environment that suits your beliefs, or suits that would allow you to have those beliefs, dude. The U.S. is very, very big. You can move somewhere else in the country. Like if you want to live in a more conservative place, you could go to like Oklahoma or something like that, where we used to live. And if you would prefer to live in a more immigrant friendly city or something, then you can go live in LA. You could go live in New York City. You could go live in a lot of different places. It's a very, 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 very big nation. And I think that plays a part into it.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that people, I guess, don't realize about the freedom of the US is that freedom is not free, and the cost of being free to do whatever you want is that everybody else is also free to do whatever they want and to think however they want.
Control them.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot just put a muffler in the mouth of the people that are that have a contrary opinion, or say something that you don't agree with, or even speak out against you personally. I mean, all you can do at that moment is just leave them talking alone. But people sometimes want to get confrontational. It's very difficult, when it's like fuck. No, fucking blank. But it's very difficult when you
finish your thought process.
Yeah. It's very difficult when you have such distinct and opposing ideologies and viewpoints, worldviews and such. But it's something that, for one, is beautiful in the sense of like if we were all uniform, thinking the same way, it would be fucking boring. It would not be the American way. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
If we all thought the same way, but so thankfully we have these different opinions, these different cultural exchanges. This diversity.
Right.
In spite of sometimes.
Well, and let's clarify. Cognitive diversity is what we're talking about here. Not necessarily that we're opposed to like any sort of ethnic or racial diversity, right? I mean, we're not opposed to it, obviously. Like you and I coming from different backgrounds.
No.
Me being a mix of just cultural and racial diversity. It's not
exactly,
that. The thing is, what's most important is the cognitive diversity. That's the most important thing. Is that we think different. That's the most important part.
Yeah, I think we're not cheap. We're not cheap. We maybe a little dumb sometimes, but it's a bit of an ass sometimes, but not cheap. We can think for ourselves. We don't, and that is beautiful. I think that's one of the most important things about being human, is being an individual capable of thinking for themselves.
Yeah. Dude, like here's kind of a little romantic belief of mine. This is just me being a little romantic, but I do think that there's. I'm not sure where I would derive the value from this necessarily, but I do like the idea. But the idea of having an experience and a set of emotions at one time or at some point in your life that nobody has ever had in history, you've had experiences, things that you've seen that nobody else has seen. What's the fun in living all of the same experiences that everyone else has experienced in their life? It's like just like one thing that you've done, or the one thing that you've seen, or one thing that you've experienced that is different from absolutely everyone around you. I mean, let's think of a thing that we've done. Like, what's a unique thing? Let's think. So you might be the only Portuguese guy in Oklahoma that ritualistically partied his ass off with Rwandese and Burundians.
No, I think one experience is definitely like the two of us and maybe a couple of other people going out with all these Rwandans, with all these people.
Mm-hmm. Which that was for them. That was an interesting experience in the fucking first place. It's like, well, you have your group, but the thing is, like you're in conservative America, and you're from Africa, and you're going out partying, and now you have these other guys that are like not even part of your group of people that go partying in Oklahoma City, and now these people are having like the fucking most unique experience of their lives.
Yeah, and we were going to like the strangest, most ratchet places. to be fair,
oh,
but
yeah.
But it's the experience. It's the experience. How many white guys were there? Straight up. Dude,
it was
straight up.
It was like you, Andoni, and half of me. It was
us, yeah, and maybe like some dude that somebody brought, just cause, or like some girls, that from somebody else's college, but you know what I mean. It's just, I think, us, we were definitely in a situation that allowed us to experience something that a whole lot of people don't get to experience. Because we were in that circle, of people of all these Africans, of all these people that, they knew the place. That's where they used to go, and we just tagged along and got to experience that too,
Absolutely, dude. The fucking the underground scene.
Yes.
The underground scene for just like Africans in Oklahoma City was a lot more extensive than I thought, and it was really fucking cool.
It was
Dude,
cool.
Like whenever we went somewhere with them, it's like it was funny because all three of us, we look like fucking mozzarella sticks, just like sticking out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Because everyone's straight up fucking from African, and like we got these fucking pasty white boys, and like me, half Japanese, and the sun in Oklahoma City not very strong, so we just fucking stood out there like fucking mozzarella sticks, just fucking jumping around and having fun and shit. Man, that was fucking great. Like
yes,
it was such a fucking great experience.
Yeah, lots of world star moments, but definitely great experience overall.
World star moments. Wait, did you see any fights?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, like
when?
Dude, like in the parking lot, like how they get all.
I remember.
Not inside the place.
Yeah, you're talking about that one lounge that we went to, and then that one girl was what was it? It was
I don't know, man, but I think there were people actually shouting "World Star" and like recording that stuff,
Yeah. Dude, yeah. No, I think I remember the exact day and the exact moment that you're talking about. I think I do.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but it was. That part got registered, and it was like, yes, this is awesome. This is totally worth it. Worth it,
bro. Remember when we were with the boys, like our usual crew, like like my old roommate, Mr. Rwanda. You know what I'm talking about? I think.
Yeah.
And we went with that crew, and then I didn't have fucking cash to pay, and so remember when I fucking found the loophole to like get in for free?
Yeah. that loophole almost got us in real trouble because everybody started using that loophole.
That shit was fucking hilarious. Like
It
I got
was.
in there, dude. I went through the fucking
Drape.
I went through that. Yeah, I went through the drapes like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. I think one time she actually called you out, on it, and was like, hey, get back here. And you're like, no, didn't you see I just paid, I just paid. Come on, what you doing? Get off my back, I just paid. Remember that? Do you remember that?
Oh wait, did I get away with it?
Oh, you got away with it. It was fucking... I was like, oh, unbelievable. This guy, motherfucker.
Wait, what? I don't remember. I was probably pretty drunk, to be honest. Wait, what happened?
Yeah. No, you got away with it. I think you just kept saying, I just paid. Come on. I was right after me, or before me, because I never got through the drape. I was the one guy that actually paid to keep up the illusion that people are paying as they're going in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, I can't believe that I actually fucking got in. Like I think I found the loophole. I got in. I came back through, and then I told you guys about it, and then I went in again or some shit like that, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But I think at one time. Maybe not the same time as that, but at one time, the person that was there actually called you out, and like, you came back. This was like, it wasn't immediately after you went in through the drape, right? So you come back, and you're like, I just paid. Come on, I was right here. I just paid you. Come on.
Oh! I tried to play it off. I was like, "What are you talking about? I just paid this shit." I blatantly lied to her. I blatantly fucking lied to her. Like, cause I definitely didn't fucking pay.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fucking hilarious, dude. It's real when the guy like fucking checks you like it's fucking TSA.
Oh my god, yeah, it was fucking big boy up there at the front, like checking us too. Like we were with some big boys, right? Some fucking
we had some.
They've been
big
drinking some
boys in our
Rwandese
crew.
milk. I'll say that they've been drinking some Rwandese milk all their lives. They're some big boys, but our crew was not quite as big as the bouncer. The bouncer was a bit scary, if I remember correctly.
The bouncers were some linebackers. The bouncers were
I remember that. But dude, that shit was fucking funny, dude. We got in without paying. It was what, probably me, you, our little white international friend, wink, 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 and and I think
blonde Mexican, the conundrum.
Yeah, and 4 or 5 of our good party boy Rwandese friends.
Shout out.
Yeah. Shouts out. Fucking good times, man. Good times, 100%. So much fun. But yeah, man. But anyways, the point is that
only
we
in
all
America.
met. Only in America, made in USA. This is the kind of shit that I'm like, where else could I get this? Like, where else could I get this shit? It's like fucking, like, we're in the middle of like a predominantly white city, and then our friends, like our party friends, are mostly all fucking African, and namely Rwandese and Burundian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're fucking partying it up, fucking Africa style, in the middle of OKC at a lounge that fucking God knows who owns this shit, what it does like on a regular basis, like what it's doing, like what its operations are when it's not a Saturday, like a Friday or a Saturday.
Right.
I think there were some that were disguised as like a hookah lounge. Some of them were like disguised like a hookah lounge, like a restaurant or some shit during the day. But on the weekends, it's basically like a fucking club.
Yeah. But it's like, I think we weren't really that concerned about it either. You know, it's like, it's the place that everybody goes to. You know, everybody in that group goes to. So we good.
It was that place, yeah. I mean, I still remember the name of a couple of them too, but I'm not gonna say it because I ain't giving away my fucking place of respite.
Of respite.
Dude, yeah, that shit, I mean, like, you know what I mean. It was refreshing.
Yeah.
Oh, and dude, and the way that the boys danced too, that shit was funny. We fucking make circles and shit, and
yeah.
Oh, what was that fucking move? Is Mr. half French, half Rwandese. Remember? I just remember. Yeah, don't say it. But he would often like just like what was it like? He kept fucking doing it. It was fucking hilarious. Or, like he'd put his like hand down to the ground. He kind of sweep it up like like a
yeah. No, that was.
And then he like put his. And then like he raises his hand up from the ground all the way to the top above his head. Hey! And like we all started fucking doing that. Fucking raising our hands up from the bottom, like the fucking floor, all the way to the top. Hey!
Yeah. We looked.
She was so funny, bro.
We looked so
Fire,
fucking dumb. We were doing that shit.
This is so awesome. So fucking stupid.
It was awesome. We didn't give a fuck who, like all those G's watching us like in this circle, you know, being just foolish, you know, trying to imitate the Rwandans doing the dance and stuff.
Dude. Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Yeah, and even when we were not when we didn't go out, when we stayed indoors, you know.
You got shift.
When I was the DJ,
the parties.
When I was the DJ.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god! And we went to our friend. Oh shit! He was also from fucking Rwanda.
He was also in those circles.
Dude, shouts out, man! Shouts out, dude! Like I would have had no party experience had it not been for the Rwandese and the Burundis. I want to say thank you, man, because like
absolutely.
That school was fucking boring, man. Like everyone, like no one drank at all. Like there's nothing going on, no party of any sort. It was like let's go to a Bible study. It's like I would rather not. I can think of a lot of different things that I'd rather do on a Sunday morning.
And even
like dude, like you know what's a better thing than a Bible study on a Sunday morning?
What?
Going to Subway and sobering up with the
Yes. Rich.
Dude. Okay, a little bit of background for everyone. Like the way that Danny and I would sober up on a Saturday, Sunday morning whenever we're hungover as shit is we'd go to the Subway that was like right next to our apartment complex, and we get a meatball marinara foot long with all the fucking fixings, man. I'm telling you, like all the veggies. Run that shit through the garden, and then cover that shit in fucking sauce. And it's like when she's like, "What sauce do you want?" And it's like I told her like, "Give me the sriracha mayo." And then she's like, "Okay, is that everything?" Like, nah. Put some honey mustard on that. And everyone else would be like, "Oh, that's fucking gross." And like, no, wait, you don't know what you're saying. Like, forgive them for they do not know that that honey mustard and sriracha mayo on a fucking meatball marinara loaded with fucking vegetables is the holy grail of sobering meals. Oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah, dude. To date, I have not found a better hangover killer than the Subway sub. You know. So
you want to talk about like a mimosas and brunch, dude? Let's like fucking have that shit in a beer,
bro. I think yeah. Also, my quesadillas works pretty well, but it's not the sub, dude. It's the only thing that I can make that is fire. To be frank.
Remember canned chili?
Remember Ken?
all we had was all we had was just fucking Hunt's chili or some shit. And a sack of potatoes, and we just boil the fucking potatoes, and then you just pour the chili on top of it.
Bro, for a split second, I felt the hunger again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
That hunger that never goes away. But
and the fucking coconut macaroons from Brahms too. Oh my god, dude.
Oh, dude, yes.
Those were fucking delicious, man. Like,
yes, that was a treat. That was a legit treat. We could not afford to be getting that stuff all the time. So when we had one, it was like, yes, thank you.
Yeah. Because we were fucking poor during that time, huh? Probably because we spent too much money on alcohol, man. Like we probably shouldn't have. Well, actually, it wasn't. We actually didn't spend too much money on alcohol because we usually split the costs on a weekend. Yeah.
No, I think we just had a cash flow issue. We couldn't take enough hours to make sure that we had all the food that we wanted and all the booze that we wanted as well. Yeah. So we had to make choices. We use the cafe a
lot.
Yeah, we use the cafe a lot, but then again, it's what it's there for. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we did the whole taking it back home and everything, but everyone did it. Everyone on campus.
Yeah,
they had styrofoam cups and then just fucking stuffed the styrofoam cups full of food.
And it's like, why are you even keeping people from doing this or trying to?
It's like, imagine the revenue they're making from it in the first place. You're still making profit, motherfucker. I get it if a person walks out with a fucking gallon jug of milk. It's like, okay, well, I get that, but it's like, bitch, let me take a couple slices of salami. Why you tripping? It's fine.
Yeah. Let me take a cup of nuggets, chicken nuggets or whatever. And it's like
a fucking bushel of lettuce. Yeah, fucking let me take that. A bushel of lettuce.
But it's like, because the meal plan and such. Yeah, it was
just expensive, dude.
It was expensive, and it's like if you're even gonna keep us from keep taking some of these stuff for laters, it's not worthwhile. I'd rather not have it and just shop for food at Walmart. Absolutely. Or it would be a lot cheaper. It would be a lot cheaper to just get the food there, and cook it at home. Absolutely. Or whatever. But
absolutely,
it's part of the pact of the deal, to get the meal plan, but at least they should make it, a little more flexible for people,
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is I know that so the CAF food quality was shit as well, and they paid their workers absolute shit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was because the thing is man, it's dude, if you want
you were there, right?
I worked at the snack bar, dude. Oh my god, I remember. Oh, dude, shit. This gets a little political. I remember
a little political. Oh boy.
A little political, because the thing is, the cafeteria, they had very, very, very terrible pay, but it was one of the only places where international students could be employed because it was on campus. And
right.
And so essentially the cafeteria got pretty cheap labor out of international students, which kind of seems a little, because the thing is they're willing to work for less than an American student would, right? And the thing is for them it's dude, it's I've never made $7.25 an hour, so it's kind of for a lot of them it's woo,
yeah, till they find out how things cost.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of them were like pretty happy with it, but it did look very bad because a lot of our international students were from Africa, and they're
Oh,
black,
gotcha,
right?
gotcha, gotcha,
And
gotcha.
so you see why it looks pretty bad with a majority white population in the school, and then but all of the students that are working behind the counter and serving the food are
Yeah,
black.
they not. Yeah,
Yeah,
the black
it
or
looked
the like Asians
from
or
a surface level, it
Latinos.
looked pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely, man. Um, but then again, it's like at that with that pay and for that type of work, like the people that the white people, the white Americans, all the white Americans in that campus, like they're not gonna.
Or
They have
rather, it's just Americans in general, and then like
no. I mean, they
because of
have
the demographic of the city, they happen to be white. That's probably a better.
right. No, I'm just saying. They have other options. That's definitely not attractive for them. That's like
Yeah.
a only if they're from out of state or something,
Right.
which I think was the case with some in there
Yeah.
either there
And
or in
just a
the
little
snack
bit
bar.
of backstory, like our like where we lived was in Edmond, Oklahoma. And Edmond, Oklahoma is very, very predominantly white. It's very, very, very conservative as well.
And it's
So the
kinda
majority of the
affluent too,
population
right?
Of people, huh?
And kind of affluent, like they got moolah, they got money.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a middle class. It's definitely a middle class.
Yeah,
area.
it's-
and people who moved there were part of the Church of Christ. Now the Church of Christ is, there's some denominations like there's a couple of the, it's mostly white. There's a lot of black Churches of Christ as well, but a lot of them, a lot of the brothers didn't go to Oklahoma Christian because of just where it's situated. I think a lot of them would go to like a
Really?
different Church of Christ university. Yeah, I mean, because and like why? Like I mean, think about it. It's like why would you go to a place where it's like just like
No.
I don't know if I'd feel comfortable. You know?
Man, it when I first got to OC, it was super weird for me to see like the black students all on on one side and like in their own corner,
Mhm.
and the no there's like no mingling stuff.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like
that thing really shook me. Like, what the fuck? What's this? What?
yeah, and I don't know. It's like I
I
think what
thought
it is
segregation
like,
was over. Like.
well, but the thing is like that's the thing is that like I think it was a bit on kind of both sides. It's like because I saw a lot of intermingling. Because the thing is like since the majority of the school is like white, right? Like if you see like a couple of white kids hanging out, you don't think of it as like a clique or anything like that, right? You just think about it as like, oh, just a couple of students hanging out because the majority of the people there are white. So the majority of the groups of people hanging out are white.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like a it's just normal. And then and so I think from the perspective of like maybe the 1%, 2% population of the school that was like just of black people at the school, like not including the Rwandese, because I think like if you counted them as like counted them within that the population of black people at the school, which I'm not sure if you would, they're Africans, very very fucking different. If you couldn't have guessed that at all.
Yes.
If you didn't count the Africans that came from Rwanda and Burundi, then the population of African Americans, black people that were at the school, very, 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 very low. And so from their perspective, it might be like, oh, dude, they're all hanging out in like groups of white people, so like I don't really want to go in there because they might not accept me. And then likewise, if they're in like a group of all of all black people, like a lot of the white kids might see them and be like, damn, I shouldn't go in there because they'll probably think I'm a fucking racist or some shit like that. So it's kind of like, it's like I think what it was is like there's a lot of misunderstanding there. Whereas my favorite groups of people were whenever you had like the international students mixed in with like white students and also with black students, and like it was just like
yeah.
Because the thing is the it's not the ethnic diversity necessarily, but it's kind of like the diversity of background did really make for a lot of interesting conversation, which I actually really liked in college.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think in a way we were kind of a little bridge. You know what I mean? It's like bringing
because like we
people
hung out with
together.
everyone.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We have no we have no prejudice, man. Let's go. Let's fucking play soccer together. Let's do things together. You know, let's talk. Let's hang out. Whatever.
Well, it's like we didn't have the burden of history. Like it's just like
yeah. We're kind of
we didn't have the burden of history. We just came in and we're like, oh, you're cool. Let's go hang out.
Yeah.
It was just simple. It was just fucking easy, dude. Like for us, I felt kind of bad for a lot of the other people because they had to deal with this like baggage.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Like for me in the beginning, that was kind of weird to witness, but yeah, it's kind of the way things are there, but
yeah, so it was really, really great that we could just fucking hang out with anyone, and we could just pull the international student card. I mean, like we already knew like kind of the reason, like kind of the background of it. But like we didn't have to be restricted by that. We could be like, oh, I'm from Japan. It's like, oh, you're white, bet, let's hang out. It's like, oh, you're from Burundi, bet, let's hang out. It's like, oh, you're from Tennessee, bet, let's go hang out. It didn't matter. We just fucking hung out with everyone. She was good, and our shot pong was an equal opportunity drunk fest. Didn't matter where you fucking came from. You're getting fucked up.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you got a tolerance? Bet, show us. And so see if you can keep up with our Mexican.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
Because
my lord,
as skinny and small as that guy is, that man can fucking drink.
Yeah. You want affirmative action? Jesus. You want affirmative action? Make it diamond formation. make it a square.
Oh shit! Fuck, man. You're a little bit of background. When we used to play shot pong in at college, right? And then the way we played it basically was well, first of all, we had a lot of fucking people from a lot of fucking different backgrounds there. Just me and you being there, we're from different backgrounds, and then we had a bunch of international students and a bunch of like local students. And we made a fucking tournament for shot pong. And how shot pong works is we fill the cups with water, and we set them up how you would for beer pong, right? In like a triangle, so like 6 cups. It was like six or 10. I can't remember. It was 1, 2, 6. And 3. It was like a row of 1, row of 2, row of 3.
Yeah.
Row of 4. Did we do row of 4? I think it was just 6, right?
Yeah, usually it's just 6.
Yeah.
Because to keep it fast too. Plus, I don't think we had that many cups. So yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't afford all the cups. Yeah. So yeah, it was like. We had, and when we played against each other, we would always, and if you get, so we played, we play as if it's beer pong, but when the cup lands in, so when the ball lands in the cup, instead of drinking the water, like whatever's inside the cup, you just, like someone comes by, the fucking shot fairy came by and just like poured you a shot and just, and then you would just continue. And so,
the shot fairy.
The shot fairy, would just come by, just pink, and I think the rule was that we could restructure the shot. We could restructure the way the cups are lined up, to turn it into a diamond, or we could restructure it, and oftentimes the structure that we chose after we only have like 4 cups left was like a diamond. So it was like. I don't know if this is making sense. It's like
well, if there are 4 cups left, and then they're like kind of spread out randomly. You can ask for it to be put into a diamond shape, so
Diamond.
what
Yeah,
1, 2, 1,
that was the way.
and they're all nice together, close together, so
Absolutely.
you have a better chance of making the shot.
Yep.
Which worked sometimes.
Yeah, and that shit was so funny. Which is that's where the diamond inside joke comes from.
Yeah.
To just giving people like an insight to how
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like.
It was epic, bro. Those games were epic. They were on.
Yeah.
They were on a level because the weirdest comebacks and the weirdest shots I've ever seen.
I can't believe I beat
were
Sunny.
there.
I still to this day I can't believe I beat Sunny. How did I beat Sunny if I lost to Andoni? Like,
hey, at least you got the chicken.
Like we played it in the most fucked up way too, because like you think like, okay, if you lose you take a shot, right? Is how you think about it. But since we played a tournament, the way it came out to be was the more you win, the more shots you take. Not necessarily, because the thing is like, if you win against the other person, like I think they have to take more shots in that one game. But if you win, then you go and play more games. So if you win up to the top, you ended up having to drink more anyways. And so I think it was me and Andoni were last. So we ended up playing like 3-4 games of shot pong, which is like what? Probably like, I know that night I ended up taking like 19 shots or some bullshit like that.
Jesus.
19 shots. And the thing is like, we didn't have any chasers. So, we chased it with
Okay.
beer. So I ended up chasing the shots during shot pong with beer.
Beer on top.
I don't know if you did. I don't know if
Hills.
you did the same thing, but fuck! Don't even talk about it. It fucking made me want to throw up.
That's
Fucking
19,
distilled jet fuel is what it was.
19 of that stuff is it's a punishment. It's
And we didn't even have a shot glass. We played like those like little capsule toy things where like you can get like a little you can like you put in like two quarters or something, and then like you can get like a toy that's like in the capsule. In Japan we call it gachapon.
Oh yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so like those little capsules that have like a toy in it or something, right? But the thing is, we didn't have an actual shot glass, so we ended up using like one side of the capsule thing and filling that up with shots. And it was the most fucking ghetto shot glass you can think of. Dude, I think that thing was much bigger than a shot glass.
Might have been. Yeah. Yeah, those are the capsules of the ping pong balls back in
the
center.
The ping pong room. Yeah, the recreation room. That sounds sexual. They have there's like a little machine that dispenses ping pong balls, and they put the ping pong balls in the little what's it called, the capsule thing.
Yeah, so, those capsules were big. Yeah, ping pong ball. Yeah, that capsule was.
They're fucking clutch, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. they saved the day.
Yeah, because otherwise we didn't have a shot glass.
We would have to like fill up the cups.
The cup.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I just remember 19 shots and like 7 beers. That's probably my record to this day of how much. My voice cracked. Probably my record to this day of the most I drank in like a single night. That's probably, yeah. It was pretty bad. Like I had like a 2-day hangover.
Yeah, that sounds pretty rough. That sounds pretty rough, especially taking into account the kind of alcohol that we were having.
My goodness, it was so bad. It was so bad. So
yeah.
To this day, that was the most I've ever had. 19 shots, I think, and then like 7 beers. It was horrendous. It was terrible. But Yeah. Let's not do that again.
Well, next time we do it, we'll have better alcohol. That's for sure.
We'll have
We'll
better
make sure.
alcohol, and let's all take aspirin. Like we're getting old. Like we're getting older. Like we're not 20. You know, we're inching towards 30. I know that that's not very old, obviously, but I can't drink as
No, that's fair,
guilt free
though.
as I used to.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Cirrhosis is a real problem. Cirrhosis. I don't know. Fuck. English is.
Yeah. let's take aspirin. Let's take
Yeah.
aspirin. Let's drink water and then go for the drinking. But honestly, shot pong would be fun to play again. But maybe we could play like we could be fancy. We could play like cider pong or some shit. You know, like play with apple cider, Angry Orchard.
Okay.
You know, or something like that.
Yeah,
Sounds
I
kind of
mean,
girly, but it's like no, I don't
we did beer pong as well. Sometimes
We actually did play beer pong as well. Yeah, we usually couldn't afford beer, which sounds really bad saying it like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, do you remember one time we went to one of the guys' house and the fridge was loaded with
I still
fucking
have the
Budweiser.
picture. I
You still have the
picture.
picture?
I still
Yo.
have the picture, dude.
We should totally make that the background of our video.
Oh my goodness.
just or not. But yeah.
And like, I also have I still have a picture of like the trailer park level of just concentration of beer cans that we had in the morning afterwards.
Actually, I think I have that too. I think I have that too. If it's not the beer cans, it's like the bottles or something. But
yeah, it was like
it was,
right under that like island in the kitchen
yes,
in the cabinet.
yes.
Jesus, dude, that shit was just fucking full of cans, dude. It was just so fucking full of cans. It was ridiculous. It was like cans and bottles both. It was
Yeah, and
fucking
lids
insane.
and lids all over.
Lids from like a caps.
Yeah. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Fucking A, dude. Just cans, bottles, fucking caps, and just everything littered throughout, just everywhere. Just fucking, it was pretty bad.
Yeah,
That was our college life, dude. It was so fucking fun, man.
We got lucky a couple times with the bloody checkups, you know. When
Yeah, because we had the fucking apartment Nazi, because we lived on a Christian campus where we weren't allowed to drink, right? Would come by every couple days and like check to see if we had anything, and we never got caught with alcohol, like ever.
Yeah.
So we got lucky. Like a lot of our friends got in trouble, but like nothing happened to us.
Yeah. Some of our peeps got some trouble with that. I don't know, dude, because I think sometimes we still had not gotten our stuff rid of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was.
Yeah,
that was a lot
we weren't able to prepare for them to come in.
So yeah, sometimes
we
they
never got caught.
Yeah, sometimes they were, you know. Yeah, just
surprise raid.
Surprise, yes. Sometimes there were like, but I like the way you put it. Surprise raid. The Mongols are coming.
Just like surprise, motherfucker. And it's like, oh shit. Like, oh, Lex is here. Fuck.
Yeah. Like, but you know, we got lucky.
Yeah. So we made this fucking boring, conservative, Midwestern university experience with into a very, very, very fun experience with a bunch of different people from a bunch of different backgrounds. We actually made it a lot of fucking fun, didn't we?
Yeah. And to be fair, like, our neighbors were worse. Like, You know?
Oh, the
You
guys
know?
upstairs.
Yeah, man. They
Oh
were
my God, yeah.
they were getting it going.
That was that was my social club, dude. I wasn't like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
fucking so club is like a background for everyone. A club at OC, like the school we went to, was basically like a frat. It was basically like a frat, and I was totally in one. And the guys in my organization that lived right upstairs from us, they drank probably more frequently than we did.
I bet.
Now we probably had the crazier experiences, to be quite honest. We also had less bitches, which is a little bit saddening, because the thing is like
It is a
you know,
bit disheartening. Like,
because the thing is, whenever I would go hang out with like we had girls that came, but they were like the same girls, and they're like our gal pals. You know what I mean? Like they were either like dating somebody in the group already,
yeah,
or
or they were
like,
lesbian.
They're just kind of
I'm
weird.
kidding,
To, like,
I'm
do
kidding.
anything, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, the fucking hoes that hung out with all the frat boys were like fucking so much looser, and there was like so little strings attached. I always in terms of like just going and like just hanging out with like a couple of chicks, it was always better with the social club. But if you're just trying to crack the whole one with the boys and get fucked up, yeah, it was our group.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The clubs are the way to go.
So basically, like, let's just leave it off at our
the
experience
clubs,
at OC.
Yeah.
Was that of upstanding Christian gentlemen. We
But yeah.
we laced Bible studies with shot pong, and we learned more about Christ through our near-death experiences, and we saw the light of Christ as we were taking that 17th shot of Heaven's Hill, and that's exactly what we saw. We saw Heaven's Hill. We were walking up it. We were walking up Heaven's Hill. We're like on our way to Jesus. We're like we're learning more about you, Jesus, through our near-death experience, and seeing the light as a result of alcohol poisoning. So,
boy, we did partake of the wine, not grape juice.
We did partake. We did partake of the wine, and we definitely had communion because
a lot of communion.
I don't care what anyone says, but I was a good cook. Right?
That was yes, dude. We were so lucky. Let's be real. Like OC had its flaws, yeah, but in terms of the kind of people that we hang out with and we found there, basically, just out of this world, man. Like, few places on earth, I think, could muster the kind of people that we found there. You know what I mean?
Dude, exceptional human beings. Like, there's like the majority of the people I interacted with at OC, I'll be completely honest, just didn't give me the mental stimulation that I desired or needed. But the people that I did regularly hang out around were people that made my life much better. I could say that with confidence.
Yes, and continue to do so.
Shouts out to the international students.
Yes.
Shouts out to our little group.
Absolutely. Yeah. They continue to do so. Our little group is a rock. Is a solid foundation.
So solid foundation.
It's not the sand. See. Not. We were good Christian boys. We do remember our parables.
Absolutely. I mean, most of the people that we interacted with were all, good Christian. Like, they were Christians. It's not like we were like drinking and stuff like that. But it's like most of the people that we hung out with on a regular basis were like Christian. Now, I'm not a Christian anymore, at least, right? But most of the people that were our friends were Christians. Some were Catholic, Catholics and Christians, a lot of them. But
Catholic, Protestant, the Church of Christ, I think they all understood there's nothing here that we're doing that is inherently wrong or sinful or prohibited. Not by
man.
by our moral
speak for
constraints.
yourself.
Oh. I see.
Speak for yourself. I was a little sinful boy. A little devilish delight.
I've been a bad boy. I need to be punished. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
No, but you know what I mean, right? Like none of them were like peer pressure to do something that they didn't want to do or that they didn't agree to do. You know, like they all understood. I mean, like, this is
except for our one friend though. We're like, drink. He's like, no, I don't want to drink. Fine. No, but seriously though, like we might ask like 2 or 3 times, and if they say no, then I was like, no, we're good. It was like you don't need to drink, dude. It's like there's a lot more to life than drinking, and I think even while we were inebriated and had alcohol, I think we all realized that.
Yeah. We had people there that wouldn't, and that was completely fine. Some for religious beliefs, actually. Others just, because it was not their thing. But all in all, it's just the vibe. The vibe was what we were all there for, and like hanging out with one another. All right, fellas, that's it for our podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us at Broklahomies Podcast.